In May 2011, the Argyle International Airport was the recipient of $4.2 million in loan and grants from the CDF, the CARICOM Development Fund. This early loan was used to procure a stone crushing plant, quarry and base lane equipment, which included 5 dump trucks, a paver, 2 rock trucks, 2 front-end loaders, a rock hammer, and the airfield lighting system and generators. On October 9, 2012, the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines was notified that the CDF has approved a second loan for the Argyle International Airport to the tune of $8,807,400 Eastern Caribbean dollars. This money is to be used for the purchasing of equipment for the paving works and laboratory testing. On Thursday, October 18th, Ambassador Lorne Mcdonnough, accompanied by Lennox Fort, Director of Regional Development Division of the CDF, was welcomed at the IADC for an official tour of the site. Firstly, to get a comprehensive update on the project and to see how their monies are being spent. It was a high-level team from the IADC, including the CEO, Dr. Rudy Matthias, which welcomed them to the site and brought them up to speed. At first, it was an in-house presentation followed by an on-site tour, which is where we joined them. The on-site tour began just outside our soil testing lab and was led at this point by consultant engineer Leonardo Perez with translation assistance from engineer Aluko Dublin.
Ambassador, this is what we call the 4th kilometer of the runway. In these areas where we have our main excavation works, and currently we have approximately 600,000 cubic meters of material still to be excavated in this area. We have had considerable progress in this area because we already have the descent of the runway ready for to commence pavement works. We have opened a strip of 150 meters on either side of the center line of the runway. Which is the security area, leveraged area in the runway strip. Also, we have installed there in the 1st kilometer the crushing plant, which will produce all the aggregate you need for the asphalt and concrete mix. Yes, and stone base. We have areas like this to our left, where we have deposited a large volume of material that is not suitable for airport. And if you notice a slight depression there, there's where the drainage structure is located. That crosses the water from the west to the east of the runway.
What about those areas down there where I'm seeing pipes and those part of the drainage too?
We're seeing pipe?
Right there you see 2 concrete.
This is a facility they constructed to cross all the electrical and communication lines under the runway. So by next week, all these lines you see overhead will now pass under the runway. We have had some accelerated progress in this area, but now we just have to concentrate and complete the excavation in rocks.
From the 1st kilometer, attention was then turned to the work in the 2nd kilometer of the site.
It's the 2nd kilometer. There you have the taxiway located, and similar to the 1st kilometer, you can see the runway area is being prepared, is almost ready to receive the stone base. Here we're also working on some hydraulical structures and the leveling off of the platform areas. So with the arrival of the asphalt plant and the concrete plant, we'll commence the pavement, the actual concrete and asphalt. But for now we'll be laying down the base. You can see also the green areas. This form part of the security strip of the runway, and most of it, the areas that you see green already at final level. Only the 3rd kilometer you can see is almost intact. That small hill that you see there is where the petroglyphs are located. And a bit beyond that, just beyond that, you have the Yambu River crossing.
You have the little ridge that comes.
Yes.
Yeah. And how much further is the runway past that?
Well, the runway goes all the way to the coast, approximately 800 meters.
Okay.
So until they finish the removal of the petroglyphs and the construction of the Yambu River crossing, we'll continue to concentrate our efforts on the 1st and 2nd kilometer.
And all of these electrical wires now by next week
will be underground. And the rock that will in the hill where the petroglyphs are located, that rock will be used for the rock fill. Small serial commission.
Aquí en este lugar donde está el taller actualmente debe irse el taller para otro lado porque también se va a excavar el salón.
Where we currently have the workshop will be removed to another area, and we have to do excavations in that area also.
Estamos planeando moverlo en diciembre.
So we are planning to move the workshop in December.
Okay.
Having seen the progress being made here, it was over to the site of the now fully assembled stone crushing plant for a comprehensive look at some of the equipment that the CDF has financed. This part of the update was led by Chief of the Industrial Area, Mario Junco del Pino, with translation assistance from engineer Luciano King.
We have a screen that will classify the size from 19 to 25 millimeters. That is the first screen here, and the second screen, which is the last one, that was the last process, which would the smallest stone. And the last one is also a washing system, so we can wash the stones to be used in the asphalt. And this is the control room we have. The transformer will be brought in after in the back, and we have the main switchboard downstairs here. From here we'll be able to have this, we have the stone base for the structure of the pavement. This is very important in terms of dealing with the raw materials that we need for the concrete and the asphalt also. You have mounted this in about a month, and this is the equipment that will be working along with us.
These are all CDF.
These are the ones for the bigger stones. Those will be feeding the crusher up to the top. The trucks will be used in the future also to transport the asphalt and so on. And these are the two loaders. These will be used to carry the bigger stones.
The IDC's communication team also used this opportunity to speak with Ambassador Mcdonnough and our own CEO, Dr. Rudy Matthias, about the CDF's role in financing certain aspects of the airport's construction. Ambassador, you have been in presentations all morning, getting a really good update as to what we're doing here at Argyle. And you're now on site seeing what they would have been showing you in the conference room. What are your thoughts on what you have heard and seen so far?
Well, first of all, it's not my first time here. Actually, the last time I was on site was around a year ago, but I passed by here maybe 6 months and looked down. And the first time I came, I was very impressed with the magnitude of the operation. I don't think many people in the Caribbean understand what is being done here. When I came first, there were 2 hills, and it really was quite a project for St. Vincent and Grenadines to take on. And since I've last been on site, well, the little hill at the end has been removed. The church has gone. I think the cemetery went before, and I'm really impressed with the progress that's being made. It's really, truly quite impressive.
Okay. Now, the CARICOM Development Fund has financed some of the equipment that we have on site so far, quite a number of them. When the CARICOM Development Fund was first approached for assistance for the Argyle International Airport, what did you think of that? And now that you are assisting us and you have seen the fruits of the loans and grants that you have given us already, what do you think of what we are doing now?
Well, when we were first approached, it was some time because we had to assess the project within our rules. And this we did. That took a couple months. And the recommendation to the board, as you know, its history, was a positive one. But it's really quite pleasing for me to now see what we've done in our very own small way, because this project is much bigger than us. Here we're only contributing a small portion of it, but you know, I would think that even what we do is vital to the completion of the project. So it's good to see these trucks that we have financed, and the crushing plant, which will begin operations shortly. And I'm glad that we were able to participate in some way. And in fact, the board just approved a further loan to St. Vincent and the Grenadines for further work and really for the purchase of equipment to see the project meet its completion schedule. So we're happy to be a part of that. doing what we're supposed to do in helping countries integrate more fully into the CSME and trying to ameliorate disparities within the CARICOM single market and economy.
Okay. Dr. Matthias, this is the second time around within the space of a year that we are getting some assistance from the CDF. What are your views on that, and how do you feel about the assistance that we are getting, and how are we utilizing that assistance?
Well, first I want to thank and to welcome back our dear friend Ambassador Mcdonnough and his team. You might have seen in other shots that he has here Lennox Fort, and Mr. Gilks here is PR person, and our own backer is one of the members of his team, St. Vincent too, that has assisted us over the last year and a half or so with our discussions and negotiations for funding. We have got already $4.2 million in grant and aid from CARICOM Development Fund, and with that money we were able to buy the crushing plant that you see here, which has been installed and is ready now, almost ready for operation. We were also able to buy a number of pieces of equipment that we need for the laying of the base that we are going to have to do for the pavement works. And we have also been able to buy all of the lighting equipment that we need for the airfield and the apron. So these lighting equipment are going to be arriving here towards the end of November. And soon after, we are going to start the installation of our lighting equipment along the runway and in the areas of the apron. Recently, as the ambassador just said, the board of the CARICOM Development Fund approved another loan for us of $3.2 million or thereabouts. And these monies are earmarked for additional equipment to help with the pavement works that we are going to be doing. The monies are not enough to buy all of the equipment that we need. We are going to have to find funds to acquire an asphalt plant, a concrete batching plant, and we are going to have to also find funding for the cement and the bitumen that we need for the final pavement works. But as of today, we have equipment on hand and now have additional monies to buy most of the equipment that we need for the pavement works, so that soon enough, perhaps early November, once we start crushing the stones, we are going to be in a position to start the actual base laying on the pavement, and those works will continue. And we are now in the process of negotiating funding for the concrete batching plant and the asphalt plant, and we expect that those discussions would result in us having those plants in next year, sometime next year.
Having left the site of the stone crushing plant, it was over to our final destination, the site of the passenger terminal building, where Chief Project Engineer Jeffrey Cato awaited us.
You see the way the road comes here? The drop-off point will be in that circle there.
Just where it...
Yeah, when you come in there. And then this will be the road on the outer.
And this will be the departure area.
And that's the departure area.
That is the
domestic.
That's the arrival. And this was this area that we are
on the ground floor will be your departures. That part that is sticking out is part of the VIP area. So everything from the VIP area here is...
Is this going to remain like this?
No. Where we are standing here is the parking lot.
Oh, so you're going to have to level
all this has to be leveled out. And it has to be leveled out to about the rain tree. You see that telephone pole? If you pull a line between that telephone pole and about 30 feet above that telephone pole will be the embankment. So we have quite a bit to cut back here. We're hoping to start cutting it. We were supposed to have started.
It's easy, so you don't have any problem. You don't have to do any blasting.
No blasting. No blasting here.
So all of this will be the parking lot up to around where you park?
Yeah, up to where it's going to run and going out there and coming out. Okay.
So you'll have to come up a slight incline to get in the parking?
No, that road is going to be cut down and lined and going to come down. Level it down.
Level it down there?
Yeah. We're going to all the way that lamppost, the road is going to be cut down, and there will be a gradient that will take us down to there.
Okay.
The gradient is only about 12% gradient.
Okay, so the parking lot will be on a slight grade?
Yeah, no, the parking lot, well, up to where we're going, but the parking lot has two platforms, a lower, lower, and then the road is even lower.
Okay,
so there's about three.
The first one, and I get it.
The International Airport Development Company, the IADC, is pleased that the CDF continues to show confidence in the Argyle Airport project and the potential it holds for the overall development of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. For your guided tour to the site, please call us at 458-0333. You can also stay up to date by logging on to our website at www.svgiadc.com, on Facebook at Friends of the Argyle International Airport, and on YouTube at IADC SVG. If you have not yet made your contribution to the airport's development, please do so at the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, account number 200884.